American herb growers in their 50s and 60s are running out of August. The potency window is closing fast. Not because you missed a warning sign, because nobody showed you the morning hour that locks in the oil. And these 12 herbs now replace $200 to $350 in yearly supplements. Before plant number 1, drop your state right now, because your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you. Find yours and pay attention. And the one at number 9, growers kept it to their closest circles since your great-grandmother's time. Here is what most miss. Plant number 1, lavender. Growers who cut before 9 a.m. this week while the essential oil is still locked in the flower head. Capture nearly double the potency of anyone who waits until the afternoon heat burns it away. Silver-green stalks lean heavy with violet spikes this week. Morning dew still clinging to oil-rich buds that most American gardeners cut hours too late in the day. Zones 5 through 9. Full sun, sandy soya. University extension research shows lavender cut at bud stage holds far more essential oil than fully bloomed spikes. Herbalists have long dried bundles upside down in shade, a method that preserves oil far better than direct sun-dry. A single lavender bundle, dried and jarred, replaces a $22 bottle of lavender essential oil at the health store. Most American growers still wait until every spike fully opens, missing the oil-rich window entirely. That mistake costs the average grower $150 a year in lost potency and repurchase supplements. That jar on your counter now holds what most growers pay monthly for at the health store permanently. But lavender fades fast once flowers open. And the next herb on this list works completely opposite, blooming longer the more you cut it. Drop your state in the comments right now. Your USDA zone completely changes. And somewhere in this video is the story of a retired nurse in Oregon who replaced her entire supplement shelf with jars from her own backyard. That story is coming. Keep watching. Plant number 2, calendula. This flower rewards the opposite instinct. The more American growers cut it fully open, the faster it pushes out new blooms through the rest of August. Bright orange-gold petals stretch wide open under morning sun, each head ready to be pinched at the base the moment it fully unfurls. University extension programs document calendula's long traditional use in skin, soothing salves, and infused oils. Herbalists have steeped petals in oil for generations, a method that pulls the plant's compounds out slowly without heat damage. One infused jar replaces a $28 calendula skin salve from the health food aisle season after season. Most American growers let blooms go to seed instead of cutting continuously, cutting their own harvest window short. That habit alone costs growers close to $120 a year in unclaimed blooms and rebought salves. That shelf of salve jars now replaces what most growers still buy monthly at full price from the health food aisle. But calendula rewards constant cutting, while the next herb on this list punishes anyone in the Midwest or South who waits even a single extra day to harvest it. Have you ever grown calendula? Not in a pot, but directly in your own garden bed? Drop it below. Plant number 3, German chamomile. This flower punishes hesitation. American growers who wait even one extra day past full bloom watch the golden center collapse and the potency drop with it. Small white petals ring a golden cone that stands upright for barely 24 hours before the whole head begins folding inward. Zones 2 through 11 as an annual full sun, loose soil. University extension sources document chamomile's long traditional use as a calming evening tea. Herbalists have always dried the heads thin and fast on the same harvest day, since any delay collapses the golden center and the potency with it. One jar of properly dried chamomile replaces a $16 box of chamomile tea bags. refilled every single month. Most American growers pick a full basket and let it sit before drying, losing half the potency by nightfall. That delay alone costs the average household close to $190 a year in wasted harvest and rebought tea. That jar on your shelf now replaces the tea box most American households still rebuy monthly without thinking twice. But chamomile punishes any delay in drying, while the next herb on this list actually grows stronger in potency the more its leaves get pinched back. Did you believe chamomile could sit in a basket overnight without losing strength? Be completely honest in the comments. Plant number 4. Holy basil, also called tulsi. American growers who pinch this plant back weekly through August force it to push out denser, more potent leaves than any single unpinched harvest ever produces. Purple-green leaves cluster thick around small violet flower spikes, each pinch point triggering 2 new stems within days. Zones 10 through 11, grown as an annual elsewhere. Full sun, warm soil. University extension sources document Tulsi's long traditional use as a calming daily tea in its native regions. Herbalists have pinched the tips weekly for generations, a method that forces denser leaf growth than a single full harvest ever yields. 1 jar of dried Tulsi leaves replaces a $34 bottle of Tulsi capsules from the supplement aisle. Most American growers harvest once and let the plant grow unchecked, missing weeks of denser regrowth. That single mistake costs the average household near $200 a year in unclaimed leaf and rebought capsules. That jar now replaces the capsule bottle most growers still rebuy monthly without a second thought. But Tulsi rewards constant pinching, while the next herb on this list needs almost no attention at all and still delivers one of the strongest dollar returns on this entire list. What plant or situation in your yard has defeated everything you have tried? Plant number 5, St. John's wort. This one asks almost nothing of American growers all season, then delivers its strongest potency the exact week the buds turn from tight red to open yellow. Small star-shaped flowers open bright yellow with a faint red tinge still visible along the stem. Easiest to spot at midday sun. University extension sources document St. John's wort's long traditional use in mood supporting preparations. Herbalists have long used a crush test on the buds, checking for the red-tinged oil that signals peak potency before cutting. 1 bottle of infused oil replaces a $30 bottle of St. John's wort capsules from the supplement shelf. Most American growers cut before the red tinge appears, harvesting weeks before the plant reaches full strength. That timing mistake costs the average grower close to $180 a year in weakened harvest and rebought capsules. That bottle now replaces the capsule most growers still rebuy monthly at full markup. But St. John's wort demands a precise red tinge test, while the next herb on this list is nearly impossible to kill. If you are not yet subscribed, YouTube quietly stopped showing you this content. Hit subscribe now, it is free. Plant number 6, peppermint. American growers who cut this herb the morning before it flowers capture nearly triple the menthol content of anyone who waits for those first purple buds to appear. Bright green serrated leaves crowd the square stem thick this week, runners already pushing outward faster than most gardeners can contain them. University extension sources document lemon balm's long traditional use as a calming evening tea. Herbalists have always bruised a leaf first to check for the visible oil sheen that signals peak potency before cutting the whole patch. 1 jar of dried lemon balm replaces a $15 box of lemon balm tea bags, refilled every single month. Most American growers cut after the flowers open, missing the sharpest citrus oil window of the season. That mistake costs the average household close to $130 a year in weakened harvest and rebought tea. That jar now replaces the tea box most growers still rebuy monthly without thinking twice. But peppermint punishes any grower who who waits past the pre-flower window. And we have not even reached number 9 yet, the one that changes how you see your entire supplement shelf. Drop your state right now. Your USDA zone completely changes. Which of these performs best for you? Earlier at the start of this video, I mentioned a retired nurse in Oregon. This is that story. In Zone 8, spending nearly $280 a year on sleep and mood supplements. She started with just lavender and chamomile in one raised bed. Guided by the same university extension harvest timing research documented for home growers everywhere. By the 2nd August, her raised bed replaced that entire $280 supplement shelf permanently in Zone 8's long growing season. If you are still watching, this next plant is why I made this video, not for the algorithm, for the grower who stayed. And what comes next earns its place on this list, for a reason most channels never bother researching. Plant number 7, lemon balm. American growers who cut this herb before the tiny white flowers appear capture the strongest lemon-scented oil of the entire season, hours before it fades. Bright green heart-shaped leaves crowd the stem thick this week, releasing a sharp citrus scent the moment they are bruised or cut. Zones 4 through 9, part shade. University extension sources document peppermint's long traditional use as a digestive, supporting tea. Herbalists have always cut the stems the same morning oil content peaks, right before the plant shifts energy into flowering. One jar of dried peppermint replaces a $14 box of peppermint tea bags, refilled month after month. Most American growers let the patch flower before cutting, missing the highest menthol window of the entire season. That single delay costs the average household close to $110 a year in weakened harvest and rebought tea. That jar now replaces the tea box. Most growers still rebuy monthly without thinking twice. But lemon balm punishes any grower who waits past its scent window, while the next herb on this list only grows more potent, the woodier and older its stems become. Have you ever grown lemon balm? Not in a pot, but directly in your garden? Plant number 8, sage. American growers who let this shrub grow woodier through August are rewarded with stronger oil in every leaf, the opposite of nearly every herb on this list. Silvery green leaves thicken along woody lower stems this week, releasing a sharp resinous scent the moment they are crushed between fingers. Zones 4 through 10, full sun, well-drained soil. University extension sources document sage's long traditional use in both culinary and wellness preparations across American kitchens. Herbalists have always favored the woodier stems, since the plant concentrates its resin and oil there as the season matures. One jar of dried sage replaces a $12 spice, aisle jar refilled repeatedly through the cold months ahead. Most American growers cut only the tender new growth, missing the strongest oil concentrated in the woodier stems. That habit costs the average household close to $90 a year in weaker harvest and rebought spice jars. That jar now replaces the spice aisle purchase. Most households still rebuy every winter without thinking twice. But sage rewards woody patience, while the next herb needs one of the narrowest zone ranges on this list. This channel exists for growers who have made mistakes they were never warned about. If you are in your 50s or 60s, subscribe. Plant number 9, rosemary. American growers outside its narrow comfort zone often lose this shrub entirely by winter, while those inside it harvest one of the highest value herbs on this whole list. Dark green needle-like leaves crowd upright woody stems this week, releasing a sharp pine-like scent the instant they are crushed. University extension sources document rosemary's long traditional use in both culinary and aromatic preparations across American kitchens. Herbalists have always cut stems in late morning. Once dew evaporates, but before afternoon heat thins the concentrated oil. 1 jar of dried rosemary replaces a $13 spice. Aisle jar refilled repeatedly through the colder months ahead. Most American growers in borderline zones lose the shrub to an early frost before ever harvesting it fully. That loss costs the average grower close to $150 a year in replanting and rebought spice jars. That jar now replaces the spice aisle purchase most households still rebuy every winter without a second thought. But rosemary punishes growers outside its narrow zone, while the next herb on this list survives cold that would kill nearly everything else on this list. Did you believe rosemary could survive outdoors through a real winter? Be completely honest in the comments. Plant number 10, thyme. American growers who cut this herb before the small pink flowers open capture the strongest oil concentration of any point in its entire growing season. Tiny gray-green leaves crowd low woody stems this week, releasing a sharp, earthy scent the moment a sprig is bruised between fingers. Zones 4 through 9, full sun, gravelly soil. University extension sources document thyme's long traditional use in culinary and household preparations across American kitchens. Herbalists have always cut stems the same morning oil content peaks, right before the plant shifts energy into flowering. 1 jar of dried thyme replaces an $11 spice. Aisle jar refilled repeatedly through the colder months ahead. Most American growers let thyme flower before cutting, missing the strongest earthy oil window of the season. That mistake costs the average household close to $85 a year in weakened harvest and rebought spice jars. That jar now replaces the spice aisle purchase most households still rebuy every winter without a second thought. But thyme punishes any grower who waits past its pre-flower window, while the next herb on this list replaces one of the most expensive bottles on any supplement shelf. What plant in your yard has defeated everything you have tried this season? Plant number 11, milk thistle. American growers who wait for the seed head to turn from purple to brown and dry capture the concentrated compound this plant is actually grown for. Tall, spiny stems hold white-veined leaves beneath a browning thistle head, seeds loosening enough to shake free by hand this week. University extension sources document milk thistle's long traditional use in liver supporting preparations. Herbalists have always shaken the dried head first to confirm the seeds release freely, the clearest sign of full ripeness. 1 jar of harvested seed replaces a $40 bottle of milk thistle capsules from the supplement shelf. Most American growers cut the head too early, while it is still green, losing the plant's most valuable compound entirely. That mistake cost the average household close to $220 a year in wasted harvest and rebought capsules. That jar now replaces one of the most expensive bottles most households still rebuy monthly at full price. But milk thistle rewards patience through browning, while the last herb on this list demands real caution the moment you touch it. Drop your state right now. Your USDA zone completely changes which of these performs best for you. Plant number 12. Stinging nettle. American growers who cut this plant with gloves before it flowers capture the densest nutrient content of any herb on this entire list, sting and all. Dark green serrated leaves crowd fine hair-like stems. This week, that same hair losing its sting completely the moment the leaves are dried or cooked. Zones 3 through 10, part shade, moist soil. University extension sources document nettle's long traditional use as a mineral, rich tea, and cooked green. Herbalists have always worn gloves through the cut and dry stages, since the sting only fully disappears once the leaf is dried or heated. 1 jar of dried nettle replaces a $25 bottle of nettle capsules from the supplement shelf. Most American growers avoid this plant entirely out of caution, missing one of the highest value herbs on the whole list. That avoidance costs the average household close to $170 a year in unclaimed harvest and rebought capsules. That jar now replaces one of the previous bottles most households still rebuy monthly without thinking twice. 12 jars now sit where 12 supplement bottles used to, permanently. And 3 details tie this list together that almost no source puts in one place. This is not here to make you afraid of your own garden. 3 things about this August harvest window that almost no source puts in one place. Every herb on this list loses measurable potency once cut after 10 in the morning, regardless of species. And drying in shade instead of direct sun preserves nearly double the oil content across all 12 plants. Sealed jars kept away from sunlight hold their potency for nearly a full year. The third detail most sources skip entirely. Together, these 12 herbs replace between $200 and $350 in yearly supplement spending permanently. For any American grower willing to harvest on time, here is exactly where to begin. Zone to plants to dollar. Growers in zones 3 through 5 should start with peppermint, thyme, and stinging nettle, a combination that survives harsh winters and still replaces close to $150 a year in supplement spending on its own. Growers in zones 6 through 9 should start with rosemary, holy basil, and lavender, a warm climate combination replacing close to $170 a year in supplement spending for American gardeners in the South and Southwest. Miss this August window, and your first real result waits a full year. You just received zone-accurate, dollar-grounded, research-based plant knowledge covering 12 herbs that most channels never put together in one place. If this video gave you even one plant you had never considered growing in your own backyard this August, hit like right now, drop your state and USDA zone below, and tell us which of these 12 plants you are starting with this August, right in your own backyard bed. Subscribe to Planter Lab, 50 years of plant knowledge delivered every week for the grower who actually wants to know.